Genesis chapter 16. Hagar given to Abram. Now, Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian whose name was Hagar. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened to the voice of Sarai. And Sarai, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. And Sarah said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom. And when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleaseth thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. Hagar and the angel of the Lord. And the angel of the Lord found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, and it shall not be numbered for multitude, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me, for she knew, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Bir Laha Roy. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered, the birth of Ishmael. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare him, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. Okay, so this is one. Okay, so just a quick overview. So, boom, Sarah, the real pretty girl that Abram is married to, because remember, the the princess wanted her. Listen, she could not go unnoticed, right? This beautiful woman that can't help but be noticed has a problem in her mind, because she has not borne any children to her husband. So she comes to him and says, Listen, God not let me have no children, and I want to give you a child. So since it seems like I'm not going to be able to do it here, I got this maid that we pay, and at this time it was okay for that kind of stuff to go on. I think it was a lot of craziness back then. A lot more was acceptable then than it is now. Thank God it's different, because the ghetto, seriously. Anyway, yeah. So she tells her husband to go and have sex with their maid, and then he does it, and she gets pregnant. And once Sarai finds out that she's pregnant, she mad about it. She got her attitude. She said, I know I told my husband to go and get you pregnant because I wanted to be able to give him children in some kind of way, like I had to make it happen. I'm mad that it's you and it's not me. So the maid done left, ran off, and the Lord had to come to her and say, an angel of the Lord had to come to her and tell her, listen, you carrying. He didn't even say all that. He didn't even say that. He just said, listen, you pregnant. You carrying a child, and you need to go back to where you was at. You need to go back and submit yourself. This is what you agreed to. Can I listen? I gotta do it. I gotta do it. This is why I don't do overviews, because I be wanting to just give y'all the word. But listen, y'all, this woman is pregnant with a son. Son or a daughter is beautiful, okay? But we all know how it goes. Everybody be so excited about a boy, right? Someone else that is strong enough and can carry weight that us as women simply don't often want to carry unless it's done in a certain way. And sometimes we don't always do it in that way. It's done a different way. So I digress. Point is, this woman is pregnant with this man's child, and she's basically a surrogate. She's a surrogate. And the wife is pissed. The angels say, listen, that man is a great man. He's a man of God. And to be honest, because you're connected to him through your seed, we can't have you just out here in the wilderness like here. We need you to go back to safety and security, because the baby that you're carrying inside of you needs to grow and needs to live, because God has plans for your child. So please go back to where you was at. Not saying, I can't be mad at the girl, because I don't know what it was like back then. I don't know what it would have cost her to stand up and say, no, I don't want to sleep with this man. Or if that was even acceptable back then. Like, there's so many things. I don't know. So that's why I try not to get too deep into it, because I be considering a lot of stuff, But yeah, y'all, that's basically what happened. So after the angel came to her, she was pleased. She loved knowing that God saw her, because he didn't necessarily just address her pregnancy. He addressed her as a person. He said, listen, God sees you and he loves you. And I need you to go back. So that way you can raise this child where he needs to be raised, which is with his father. So that is it for, also, let's not forget this. She rejoiced at having been known by God. And then she rejoiced having her son be known by God. And to know that God had a plan for her son, because imagine being a maid and this is your whole life, and then you have a child, and now your child is subject to most likely live the same kind of life as what you lived, like it's possible unless you train that child differently, which is why I think that God, made a point to send his angel to tell her, listen, go back, because your child is going to be great because of his father. Because of who his father is, your child is going to be great, because I ordained it. So I need you to go back. Okay? So she rejoiced and then had the nerve to name that area. Like, she claimed it. She said, this is God's place. I love that. All right, y'all. That is it. Ishmael has now been born. But let's go ahead and move on to chapter 17. I'll see you in the next one.